Hey everyone, it's Whit, and I am in Waco, where so much of my journey began. But today we're talking about a unique situation happening right here.
How can you put these old hymns, very old hymns, into a rock pop setting and immerse people into this sound that they've never heard before with these words?
We're talking Christmas in July, traditional holiday tunes turned rock and roll. This is a production with a twist.
Okay, rock and roll Christmas story. Well,
Is that what you would call it?
maybe a rock opera.
Oh, a rock opera.
A concert telling of the nativity story is kind of what we've used to describe it in the past. It's really hard to nail down.
How did you bring your gift into this?
I was brought into being executive producer of He Rules the World because it resonated with me as a parent. And these 20 plus years of law and accounting and being a compliance officer and all the organization that it takes, all of the interacting with, bosses and colleagues and talking to boards, just all that goes into that. Now I want you to still do what you're doing, but now I want you to use your resources and your talents to help bring He Rules the World to other families.
In 2018, I took my daughter to go see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and they do a Christmas production every year, 6 weeks on the road with 2 different units crisscrossing the country, and they've been doing it for 25 years at this point. It is the longest running national tour in U.S. history.
And your little antenna went up when you took her. You're like,
And I'm there and I'm going, this is really cool. They've got lights and lasers, LED, pyrotechnics, big guitar solos, huge lifts that take the guitar players 150 feet over the audience. I'm like, that's cool. And musically, I'm like, oh, these guys are really good. They're very, very good. And I'm like, well, I can do that. And then later, I'm seeing some of the production stuff, and I'm like, well, I can do that. I know what they're doing. And then later on, it's like, well, why am I not doing this?
right.
Absolutely love what they do. But for me, it was like, okay, well, what can I do that's in this space that uses my talents, uses my style of music a little bit more than what their style of music is, because I have to be true to my musical voice, so it is different there. And what can I do in that same kind of space that they're in to make this mine, but also do something that, and it just stood out to me that I just need to tell the story of Christmas.
David Gasham, known for his years as Phantom, is also singing a new tune, both in life and on the stage. He explains how this unexpected encore has helped him find deeper purpose.
After I've had done all those Phantoms,
How many did you do?
altogether I performed the role of Phantom about 1,500 times. So
Say that again.
1,500. I know the words, and in 2 languages. I did it in German and in English.
You
So
gotta be kidding me.
it's addictive. I mean, I did it all those times, and then I was in the ensemble on Broadway for thousands of shows of
It's
Phantom.
incredible.
Yeah, no, to have come from that, and then I live in Frisco, Texas, just north of Dallas, run a voice studio, sing concerts across the country. When I was asked to do this, I thought, what an interesting thought, right? What a thought. How can you put these old hymns, very old hymns, into a rock pop setting and immerse people into this sound that they've never heard before with these words?
Right.
That's what got me the first. And then I heard the music and I was sold. Peter's music was written so brilliantly, and the story is totally connected together.
Do you ever feel like you have to keep up with your last project?
No, I don't feel like I have to. I think what it was a hard transition having done Phantom so long,
Yeah.
right? That to go into where you're not doing a show every night. We're doing 2 shows on Saturday and 2 shows on Sunday. And then to move back down to live in Frisco to where you weren't doing shows every night.
Right.
That was hard. The joy of being able to still be asked to perform, because as you get older, you start to realize I don't have the sprightness that you'll see in these younger kids that are on the, not kids, I call them kids. They're my students.
I watched you though. I watched you, and you still have that sparkle, that showmanship, that stage presence.
That's what I love the most. It's the rush of being able to give that energy to the audience, right? And then see their faces come back at you with that same energy. it lifts you up, right? But it's been a hard year. This last year for me, I was diagnosed with cancer, so lymphoma. Everything changes when you get diagnosed.
Going to that diagnosis, was that something that being in this project that is faith-based helped you get through?
100%.
Really?
100%. The greatest love in the world is there for me and is always there for me, no matter what happens. Once I realized that life has seasons, right? Everything has its season, right? Everything will come and go. And change is the only regular in this world, right? It's the only regular in this world. And the world is changing as we speak. Every second, the world is changing. Good or bad, it's changing. And to have the opportunity to try to change the world for good and use your gift that God gave you, how can you turn that down?
That's powerful.
And that's the wrap. From Waco,